So our next speaker is Nancy Davidson, again well known to many in the audience. Nancy?
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I currently serve as the director of the University of Pittsburgh Cancer Institute, but I've been a breast cancer researcher of long duration. I came into the field as a medical student when I was looking for a summer job that paid, and I had the good luck of serving in the laboratory of two brand new breast cancer investigators at the time, two people who are well known to you and I think sadly are not here with us today, Mark Lippman and Kent Osborne, two of the real pioneers in the field of hormone research, especially in the laboratory. So during that summer, I learned about how breast cancer cell lines could be grown in the laboratory under the influence of estrogen, and it captured my imagination and it launched my career. I've continued that interest over many years, although I've become more interested in why some breast cancers don't possess estrogen receptor, because of course they are not amenable to the kinds of therapies that we're talking about today. And so that's an area that many are pursuing in the laboratory right now, me and many of the folks that are here in the first couple of rows. On the clinical side though, like Gabe, like Angela, like all my sidekicks up here, I have been very, very passionate about the clinical trials and how we can think about applying hormone therapy, endocrine therapy in the context of breast cancer. And my personal interest has dovetailed that of Gabriel's, which is thinking about the use of these therapies in the adjuvant setting, which he introduced to you. The concept of using endocrine therapies, hormone therapies, after a course of radiation therapy and or surgery and or radiotherapy in the setting of early stage breast cancer. As he pointed out to you, about 2/3 of women have a tumor that possesses the estrogen receptor and or the progesterone receptor. These are the women where we think that perhaps the use of hormone therapy after surgery will help to decrease recurrence. And these are the women who have worked with us to participate in the clinical trials over the years that have really shaped how we use these drugs, these approaches in the setting of early breast cancer. Thanks to several decades of very effective clinical research, done in individual centers, done in the cooperative groups across the United States that have been so influential in how we've done our practice, we've come to realize that there's a wonderful place for tamoxifen for the treatment of premenopausal women who have early stage estrogen receptor positive breast cancer. We've come to see the role of the aromatase inhibitors that you just heard about for the treatment of postmenopausal women with estrogen receptor positive breast cancer. We've come to understand some of the nuances about when we might use things like ovarian suppression in the early phases of breast cancer treatment. So this is enormously important because I think that this is one of the things that has led to the decrease in mortality from breast cancer that we are beginning to see in the United States today. So a fabulous triumph of great science led by people like Angela, great clinical science led by just about everybody in this room, both on the research side and on the participant side, and something where we've been able to really make a difference in how we think about treatment, and we've been able to move the dial. Another area where we're very interested now, in addition to the combination therapies that Gabe talked with you about, is long-term consequences. One of the upsides of survivorship, of course, is thinking about what the downsides might be of the therapy. And so we are focusing ever more on what might be the potential side effects of these therapies and how we can think about ameliorating or preventing those side effects in the hopes that we can really preserve the benefits of the therapy and maximize any potential deficits that patients might experience because of that. We're also looking extremely hard with better molecular means to try to decide which are the tumors, which are the patients who are the most responsive to hormone therapies, in the hopes that we can tailor even further, that we can help patients understand that she is a patient with this particular tumor, that we will be able to individualize her hormone therapy in as best as way as possible to maximize the benefits and minimize the side effects. So it's a terrific time. It's a wonderful time for us to celebrate what we've accomplished. And I think it's a really important time for all of you to work with us to make sure that we don't lose this momentum, that we're able to capture all the great excitement that we see in the laboratory right now, excitement such as you just heard about from Angela, to make sure that we move forward these advances to reduce morbidity and mortality from breast cancer even more than we have in the past. Thank you.
Thanks.